Big Max is going to be a survival hunter extraordinaire. Has to play at all. Fortune, we got us a Snoopy. It looks like Doku's going to be going for Zoku. He's going to be sneaking up on Dumpling. How you doing, my man? How you doing, you dumpling? You lovely dumpling. Playing that Arms Warrior. Stormbolt onto Doku. Warbreaker in the opener. And a Bladestorm to get him down to half health. Doku is melting right before our eyes. Executes a back up and running. Dumpling doesn't want to trinket it. Doku might want to vanish out of here. Fear. Gets a trinket out of it. Execute one. Maybe another execute. He's just gonna sit in there. That's gonna be oh my god, blind on a Dumpling. Does he trick it? No, Doku's actually gonna go for a reset. Doku, you just melted. And he's got an evasion with a blind. He was like, evasion is basically not a cooldown when you're going against an Arms Warrior. I don't understand. I don't understand. On Team Dumpling, we also got ourselves Grill. We got Prox back in. We got ourselves Mortadar and Reptiles. Those looks like reptiles. Dumpling does get himself. Oh my god, what's the ability called? He's just executing Doku. Die by the sword. He had to get himself a die by the sword. I don't know if he needed to get one against Doku, but that's a defensive that's going to be gone. Avatar up and running against Fortune, trying to get the bleeds up and running. Bladestorm to full, and Fortune is going to bail out of it immediately. Does get himself at least one Vivify over. And an in-cap into Dumpling. He is going to get hit with the touch of death. Trinket needs to come out. That's huge damage out of Fortune. He's going to try to get away from the damage from Fortune. It's going to hit him with a charge just to root him in place. Safety Trinket does get procced out, but Dumpling is at least alive. Being an Arms Warrior, 0 healing. Trinket out of Fortune does get a blackout kick on the Dumpling, and Dumpling does go for a bit of a blackout himself. Goes night-night, Ertugrill. I don't even know how to say it now. I'll mess it up. E.T. Yo, let's go call you E.T. You look like an alien. What is this shirt, dude? E.T. is gonna go for a little bit of a Death's Advance. Walking past the Ring of Peace. But Fortune is gonna pour it out of the E.T. He's gonna have quite a bit of hard time here. With Fortune, that's gonna be a wall. He does get a snowball to bounce between. Does that snowball bounce between the pets? I think it might have. Stun into Fortune. ET is gonna go for a little bit of damage as a ruining weapon is gonna come out. That Karma is gonna stop a lot of the pressure, and Fortune is just gonna continue on the damage. As soon as he sees that ET is gonna go defensive, he's gonna roll out and go for Vivify. So Fortune, as soon as he sees somebody play defensive, he's just gonna back up, play defensive himself. As soon as he sees somebody go offensive, he's actually gonna either Karma, or if he sees somebody running away, he's just gonna pressure the offensive. A lot of these guys that do duels are really good at that. Reading the enemy. IBF coming out for ET a little bit early. That's going to be immediate disarm. So even after he got a defensive, he can't even do anything. Fist of Fury continuing to parry ET. And looks like Fortune, as he's running out of his pressure, he's just going to back up for a little bit. Playing that hit and run playstyle for ET. He needs to find a way to get Fortune out in the open and continue tunneling the guy. Heals are going to be very important, as ET should get himself a lot of heals. That is going to be the ring just to boop him out of there. As he got any kind of damage rolling, unfortunately, it's just going to let him walk out of there. There's going to be a grip. Images up and running. Fist of Fury surrounding ET. Does have AMS rolling, although that AMS is not really going to do much against the damage that Fortune got. And Fortune bails out of it immediately. Fortune, you got to stop running so much, dude. You get in there, you're there, meleeing the guy for 3 seconds, you bail the hell out. Stop it, man. You don't need it because you got a big old bite coming out of nowhere. And as ET goes for a transfusion, Fortune already has him a pre-in cap ready to go. ET trying to get himself a heal. Death Strike seems to come out. Parry coming out. So he won't even be able to do anything against that Fist of Fury. And I think ET might be going down here, trying to survive, trying to hang on. Looks like Fortune maybe was running out of juice, trying to get himself a heal. Does get hit with an interrupt. ET barely has the resources, trying to get those Death Strikes rolling back to back. Leg sweep coming out, no chance to find that leg sweep, but Fortune is going to be able to nail him down. Going to go for Vivifies immediately, no matter who he's going up against. It is going to be the Assassination Rogue, Mortgar. Mortgar getting that evasion a little bit early. Fortune going to roll out and port all the way to the other side of the pillar. How does he remember where he puts all those ports? How does he remember where he puts them? There's no way. I feel like I would just get confused. Like, where did I put that thing? It'd be like trying to find my shoes. Where did I put those things? Or your keys or your phone. Where did I put that thing? I would never be able to play a monk, man. That's memorization. I can't remember people's names half the time. Blinders Fortune. It looks like Mortgar hoping to get a trinket out of Fortune. Not going to get an early one. Fortune wasn't even putting that much pressure on the guy. He didn't have cooldowns. Is that a short cheap shot? I think that's a very DR'd kidney. Yeah, fully DR'd his stuns. Fortune is going to go pop in wall a little bit early. Did Mordecai pop in offensives even? Is that a Vendetta? Oh, it is a Vendetta. Oh, Vendetta doesn't even show up, but that's a Vendetta. Fortune does pop wall for that Vendetta into a Fist of Fury, getting so much damage out of Mordecai with Alexia Barato. Trinket's a little bit late. Same as she can get a proc out. Vanish coming out super late. But Fortune put so much pressure into this rogue 5 minutes in. This rogue out of defensives. He doesn't have evasion or nothing for quite a while. Doesn't even have blind. Maybe saps and kidneys. No Vendetta. So he's really out of options unless he can just prolong the game and kite around Fortune with dots and kidney shots. Does he play Crucible? Cheap shot does land. This is going to get the dots rolling. It's a Mark Breath and Venom, it looked like. Onto Fortune. Does get hit with the disarm. Bane coming out. Needs to get this Phantom Knives rolling just to slow the monk down. Barely any health left though. Barely an option. Kidney shot. Instant trinket for Fortune. Oh my goodness. Someone punished that instant trinket. Someone used to punish that Reptiles. Looks like he's going up first. It's going to get himself Arcana. It looks like he actually still had camo rolling, even though he doesn't look like he's in camo. But he's going to get a big old rapid fire onto Fortune. Marksman Hunter coming out against Fortune. Hopefully that snake does something for him. Maybe a Mortal Strike effect. But he's going to have to find a way to get up to Fortune. Has a trap in one corner. Is going to catch him. Reptiles or reptiles. I want to call them reptiles, but it's reptiles. Is going to get a knockback into Fortune. Rolls right back onto him. Scatter shot to follow. Doesn't have a lot of CC left, really. And Reptiles is in a big course of trouble. Crucibles are coming out. Needs to get those aim shots even more. And Fortune used to get more aim shots back to back. But Fortune, every time he's going to be able to get away, vivify. Reptiles needs to get a freezing trap already every single time. You got Fortune out. Needs to put a freezing trap right now. Oh, I mean, not on top of the guy, but, you know, if he's going to retreat. Big aim shot, but it's not going to be enough, though. Fist of Furies are flying for Fortune. Does get to reconnect those Fist of Furies. Reptiles does not have any health. Try to go for a last-ditch knockback. Nothing you could do. Blocks. Last man left in Team Blue. A Feral Druid. A hybrid class. The only one to beat Fortune. Is he going to be able to do it right here? Is he going to end his spree right here? This way, his team needs him. 6 minutes in, 7 minutes in. That mark shot is like, hey, kill this guy. Reptile is just like, hey, I put a mark shot there. Hey, this guy, he must die. Please. Hopefully, Prox gets the message. It's going to land that opener, dude. It's going to Bleeds versus Fists. It's going to be Chi versus as in re-stealth, re-heal, reset, re-combo. By Prox, stun coming out, and Fortune not pushing out that touch of death. Still lots of damage by those images, and Prox is going to wall this as soon as he gets a chance. Fortune pre-walling this right now. Going to be a little bit of a skull bash, but maybe a little bit too early because Fortune didn't even get a cast off. I think Prox just started to stay on him, trying to get a skull bash through the ring. And he's going to be able to catch himself a little bit of health. Fortune not looking that healthy. Might be leveraging. Put the strongest bleeds on me while my health is low. Karma turning around because every Fist of Fury does damage. It's going to be a bite coming out. Prox not looking that good, but Prox is giving the opportunity to reset Fortune. If he just sat on him the whole game, he actually might have been able to end him. Fortune playing maybe too carefully sometimes. Popping yet another defensive. Going to be dampen harm with the target's lost to follow. Touch of death onto Prox right now. Needs to get himself a heal. You might want to go for the renewal. Wall coming up. Karma available. Maybe renewal after that. Safe to check it. Procking in. Still has renewal. Use renewal, I think, outside of Bear for maybe. But at least he has some health and stopped any damage during the Karma. But the bleeds were there. I think the bleeds were mostly gone though. And this is where he might have an opportunity. Fortune out of every defensive. The only thing he might even have is a trinket. And even that we don't know if he has. Ring of Peace coming out is going to stop the opener by Proxy. He's not going to have the biggest, strongest dots. Thorns are up. Doesn't have anything for it. Bash of the Fortune. Trickets out of it. It's going to be chicken out of Prox. As soon as he gets hit with Alexium, does get a big old bite into Fortune. Bleeds are up. Bleeds are doing some damage right now. Bleeds are actually just harassing the guy. Fist of Fury to stop the ability a little bit of that damage. Does Prox run Crucible? One Skull Bash would do this right here. Does he have Crucible right now? Fortune out of cooldowns actually doesn't have to know a big old bite to end him right then and there. It's gonna be Big. I think Big finally gets to play the game, dude. How, Fortune, how do you do this? How do you bring in Big Max and you tell us, hey, dude, this guy's a rank 1 survival hunter. And it's like, I want him to play. Game starts, and it's Fortune 1v4. Are you kidding me? Prior to that, Canny 1v5. Are you kidding me? It's gonna be double turtle. It looks like these guys got some turtles that made it to the water. All right, Big Max, this is gonna be your game, man. Your first round versus Prox. How's it gonna play? Playing out survival, dropping the traps a little bit early. Actually, almost landed one of the traps at Prox right now. And it's going to drop grenades at the Pharaoh. Bash by the Pharaoh onto the Hunter. Needs to kite him through the trap. Stun into Prox. That's not what I'm checking for. This way Big Max can go for quite a bit of damage. Getting that aspect of the Eagle. Mongoose bites are flying. It's going to go for a little bit of an aspect of the Cheetah. Try to catch up to Prox using that mobility. Going to be Thorns right now for Prox. And a Turtle Shell for Big Max. But he doesn't want to get away from Prox. He wants to stay around on top of him. Making sure the dots are rolling. Grenades are flying. Double grenade of Prox. But it looks like he's going to be able to get back behind the pillar and maybe give himself some heals. Doesn't even go for it. He's actually just trying to get whatever compounds he has off of the pet. Reset him on Big Max. He's going to harpoon right after Prox. Try to disengage around the guy's wall is up. This way he could cut him to the traps. Sending the traps a little bit early. Yeah, I think he's trying to set up traps so then he might be able... Ooh, has he good for himself? A little bit of that medic bandage. That's going to be a Crucible smacking him from the side. Again, it looks like this man is trying to set up traps and kite people into it. Not trying to stun and then trap right on top. Prox should have set on a trap. Should have ran into a trap, didn't he? Did Big Max overestimate where he was going to go? Where's Prox? Careful. Malady onto Prox, not going to have any kind of healing. I think the dots might kill him right now. Stun. Oh my god. What a maledict. Oh my goodness. Very well played. Fortune with a big old 4-0. Plox is the only man that can stop him. I think we finally saw Big Max play. Should we let that team...